Do 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 do. Good evening, interpeas. Purple. Well, I may not stay for the whole time. I had an oral surgery this last week and not feeling too good. Oh, I'm sorry, Purple. Well, I hope you have a speedy recovery. I hope everyone had a lovely weekend. I worked in the garden most of the day, getting everything ready, mixing the new organic mix that we got from kind of like a nursery, but they're a wholesale nursery. They're not like someplace you can go buy like plants and um, stuff like that. Everything's in bulk, so they take a front end loader and they dumped it into the bed of my truck, and then I of course had to shovel it all out of my truck into a giant pile in my driveway. Lieutenant RN, good evening. Sunshine for Will. Yes, it didn't rain today. It's supposed to rain tomorrow though. It's currently 68 degrees, mostly sunny. Liz Jane, good evening. Welcome to Music Crime Trivia. Tammy, good evening. Howdy, 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 everyone. Hugs from the coastal North Carolina. North Carolina. Lamont is in Florida, and he's going up and then heading I think west. I don't think he's gonna hit North Carolina though. Might be. He never really knows where he's going. He lets his travels go. Let him take him wherever that's his end up his destination. But I do believe he's heading west eventually. We'll give it a little bit more here before we get started. Teddy Rose, good evening. Good evening and welcome, Teddy Rose. Mel, hello from the alien British Columbia. I'm sorry. Beautiful in British Columbia. Been there many, many times in my life. My fingernails are all dirty. Sorry. It's driving me nuts. I didn't have it. I was out, like I said, I was in the garden, and I didn't have a chance to really scrub my fingernails too much. So hope that doesn't bother anybody. Starfire, everyone, virtual hug to you as well, Starfire. Reichardt, hello, Will and gang. Didn't join you guys live yesterday on Saturday morning chat, but watched the full replay. Loved it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have a video that's coming out that probably be released on Wednesday. I normally don't. I take Wednesday off, so I'm going to get the video done beforehand. So every day this week there'll be a video every day this week on top of the little short videos. They're like less than 30 seconds, but they don't qualify as short YouTube shorts because they're not in the vertical format. I might change that though, because I can't monetize them otherwise. Not that they would have overlays or anything that really bothers anybody. Sketty Nona. Will, glad to catch you live. It's been a while. It has, Sketty Nona. I hope you've been doing well. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Where's my timer at? It moved. Oh, there it is. Unfortunately, I'm not able to participate tonight. Blame it on my very advanced spinal arthritis. Oh, I'm sorry, Mel. I'm really sorry about that. It's getting out is making you hungry. All right, let's get this party started. V, how's the new hardware? Are we talking about my knee, V? My knee is doing well. Still have to wear a brace on it until June, but getting a whole lot better. All right. I'll get my answer key out here so we can actually, know what the answers are. May 1st. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today is May 1st. All right. First question for tonight. Here we go. When you're young, you do foolish things. Hopefully, the choices you make aren't this bad. Which legend stole car tires as a youth and was sentenced to 4 months in jail after getting caught? Was it A, Johnny Cash, B, Barry White, C, Dean Martin, or D, Bobby Vinton? Who stole car tires? Melchior cheat sheet. Good evening, Stephanie. Welcome. Let's boogie. You can copy off of me. It says Inner Peas. Carol, good evening. Welcome. Forgot to put me down there underneath the knife. Yeah. Looks like a knife coming down to slice me in half, huh? I hope the graphic doesn't bother anybody. It's on every single one except for the prize question. Dee Dee Parks, good evening. Welcome to Music Crime Trivia. Katie H, good evening as well. Welcome. I hope you've been doing well, Dee Dee. I know Dean Martin went to jail for something. Says Starfire. Who got caught stealing car tires? It's in his autobiography. Inner Peace. Lawrence Welk. Not unless they had tiny bubbles. Sang at Folsom Prison, he most definitely did. But Wow, here's an interesting side note. So we know that Johnny Cash recorded the actual record, Folsom Prison, where he went and sang live. But do you know what famous person was in the audience? He was an inmate there at the penitentiary. Give you a bonus point if you know the answer to that one. All right. When you're young, you do foolish things. Hopefully, the choices you make aren't as bad. Which legend stole car tires as a youth and was sentenced to 4 months in jail after getting caught? Gemma, good evening. Good morning, whichever it may be. But welcome either way. The correct answer to question number one is B as in boy, Barry White. That deep, deep voice, Barry White. Orange Tabby, good evening and welcome. But Barry White was the one who got caught stealing car tires. All right, side note. Does anybody know the answer to the actual the bonus trivia question that I gave you? So Johnny Carson, Johnny Cash recorded the Folsom Prison record, where he went to Folsom Prison and recorded the record live while he actually there at Folsom Prison. What famous person was in the actual audience? He was an inmate at Folsom Prison when he sang and did that that show there. Does anybody know the answer to that? He was an inmate. Stardust, good evening and welcome to Music Crime Trivia. This isn't on the trivia questions. This is just a bonus question. Let's see if anybody knows it. Orange Tabby, you got it right. Merle Haggard. Merle Haggard was there in the audience when Johnny Cash sang the Folsom Prison album. He recorded the album there at Folsom Prison. Merle Haggard was in the audience. Inmate Elvis Presley. It wasn't Elvis. All right. Put me back in my little box in the bottom. All right. Question number 2. No fun is what they screamed at police, throwing bottles at them, food at them. Why, however, were every member of the Sex Pistols arrested on June 7th, 1977? Was it A, for drugs, B, for public drunkenness, C, for vandalism, or D, for excessive loud music? I've been watching too much Beavis and Butthead this week. I know anything. Do you know anything? I get a kick out of watching some of the watching Beavis and Butthead. I really wasn't into it all that much when it was actually on MTV back then. I liked it, but I really didn't enjoy it as much as I should have. But I love watching the clips now on YouTube. Every once in a while, I'll go down that rabbit hole and I'll start watching them over and over again. Gotta enjoy some Beavis and Butthead. Bad fashion, says Liz Jane. Was male gone now. Oh, I missed my orange. I had an orange tabby. His name was Apollo. He went everywhere with me. I go to the store. He'd jump right into my truck and go with me. He'd lay right on the floorboard, and my dog would lay on the seat. They love going anywhere. Anyway, like, oh, we're going for a ride. Let's go. Loitering. No fun is what they screamed at police, throwing bottles at them, food at them. Why, however, were every member of the Sex Pistols arrested on June 7th, 1977? Why were they arrested? My orange tabby, his name was Baxter. Great kitty. Baxter's a unique and cool name for a cat. I've never had a Baxter. Never had a dog named Baxter either. It's a cool name though for a pet. Stephanie Fisher is going with B. All right, question 2. No fun is what they screamed at police, throwing bottles at them, food at them. Why, however, were every member of the Sex Pistols arrested on June 7th, 1977? The correct answer is B, as in boy, public drunkenness. They were all extraordinarily intoxicated, and the bottles that they were throwing at them were from a boat. They were on a boat going by down the River Thames, I think it is. But I'm not entirely sure about the entire story. But they were extremely intoxicated, and they were throwing bottles at the police and screaming at them, "No fun, no fun." Good evening, Fran. My orange tabby was named Oz. Ooh, that's a cool name as well. All right, question 3. Sometimes you just have to air it all out. Go with the birthday suit and be free. Which rocker was arrested after he did this? Was it A, Max Lundy, B, Phil Collins, C, Stevie Ray Vaughan, or D, Max Collins? I recently rescued an orange kitty from a local gas station, named him Little Red. He's a sweet boy. Oh, that's cute. Thank you very much for doing that. Sometimes you just have to air it all out. Go with your birthday suit and be free. Which rocker was arrested after doing this? Drunken and disorderly Stephen? R. Kelly. Oh my God. That's probably one of the only crimes that R. Kelly hasn't committed. That and murder. I'm sure we could probably, find. Phil Collins is not even a rocker. LOL. Is Stevie Ray Vaughan rest in peace? I'm not sure if Stevie Ray Vaughan is still with us or not. Fran, to answer your question, I'm not sure if Stevie Ray Vaughan is still with us. I'm sure somebody can Google it though. But for some reason, in my mind, I think he is. But I mean, yeah, he could be gone, passed on already. Phoebe Parks going with C. Right card C. Okay, Nona C. He's been dead for 20 years. All right, well, he died. Okay, well, see, I'm terrible at keeping track of which celebrities or rock stars or anything are still alive, and sometimes the ones that I'm almost convinced are dead are still with us. There's too much space takes up too much space in my head. It's not that I'm not a fan of the music. It's just it's too much to keep track of. I guess people who are really big fans of the artist probably know. Everybody, make sure to hit that thumbs up. There's way more chat than thumbs up. Way more. Thank you. He died in a plane crash. Wow. SRV in double trouble. All right, question 3. Sometimes you just have to air it out and go with your birthday suit and be free. Which rocker was arrested after he did this? Question 3, the correct answer is D, Max Collins. Max Collins from Eve 6. He was with the band Eve 6 at the time. Max Collins, arrested and charged and convicted of public nudity, an obscenity charge. I went to an outdoor concert of his shortly before his death. That'd be cool. Unfortunately, I never got to see Stevie Ray Vaughan in concert. Oh, Reichardt's 0 for 3. Grunge rock, I'm not a fan of. Question 4. All right, hopefully we can get that turned around here, Reichard, and you get this one right. Once is a mistake, twice is a pattern. 3 times you're just an idiot. Which rocker was arrested for his 3rd DUI in 2014, but this time he was charged with DUI and homicide? Was it A, Todd Harrell, B, Micah Underwood, C, Vince Neil, or D, Larza, is that supposed to pronounce Tier? I'm not sure how to pronounce if that's Tier. Well, A, B, C, or D, or if you're either P's, E, F, G, or whatever letter of the alphabet. Samantha Mustard McDowell, good evening, or good morning. I'm not sure what time is it in Ireland? Sure, it's got to be what, 8 hours, 7 hours ahead from where I am. So just before midnight there. Meatloaf just died. The bat out of hell. He'd do anything but love, but he won't do that. UK is 5 hours from where you are, Stardust. Well, I know it's 8 hours difference between where I am and where Gemma is in the UK from where I am. We saw him in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Wow, that'd be cool. I think I've been through Hershey. I don't think I've ever stopped at the theme park there. You know, but it's been a long time since I've been to that part of Florida. I've been all the way down. I've skipped over most of the state and landed down by Miami, and on the way to see my uncle who used to live in the Florida Keys. He don't live there anymore. He's since moved to some hoed up town in the middle of nowhere in Wyoming. I'm getting hungry again. Yeah, I just saw that on the news, Sketty Nona, and they were planning on going out on concert. Ah, that sucks. Wasn't Stardust a WWF wrestler? I don't know. Don't live there anymore. Now we are in the wine country of California. There you go. Samantha Mustard McDowell's got the munchies. Yes, but not me. I saw Meatloaf in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You saw it? Did you see him act it out as part of it, or was it in a movie? I mean, I've never actually seen the actual real movie, or not the whole movie, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've seen it acted out multiple times in my lifetime. I used to go to a place in downtown Minneapolis. It was right on Hennepin Avenue. It was a little theater there. It was almost directly across the street from Laugh-In or the Comedy Store or something like that. But it was directly across the store. They had a little community theater, and not every Friday, but every other Friday, they used to they had people who would come in. They'd act out the entire Rocky Horror Picture Show. Saw him in roadies. All right, once a mistake is a mistake, twice is a pattern, three times you're an idiot. Which rocker was arrested for his third DUI in 2014? But this time he was charged with DUI and homicide. Question 4 is A. Todd Harrell. Todd Harrell was arrested for his third DUI, and this time it was DUI and homicide, vehicular homicide. Becomes a cult classic around Halloween. All right, question 5. Oh, it cuts like a knife, but it feels so right. Yeah, baby, which of these rockers allegedly stabbed and killed his girlfriend in 1978? Was it A, Bryan Adams, B, Sid Vicious, C, Kenny Rogers, or D, Phil Spector? Oh, it cuts like a knife, but it feels so right. Which of these rockers allegedly stabbed and killed their girlfriend in 1978? Robin, good evening and welcome. Robin's going with good old Sid Vicious. Dee Parks is going with B. BBA's. Jennifer Hill. No, D. Nancy Spungen. 1978. Sid Vicious was out on bond at the time that he actually died. Died of an overdose, I believe. Phil Spector assaulted my eyes with those jackets and wigs. Yeah, he's definitely a flamboyant man, wasn't he? When he could dress up the way he wanted. Katie, good evening. Katie is going with A. Robin Lane. EOD'd, yeah. Most likely on heroin or speedball or something. I'd almost guarantee you it was heroin and something. I wasn't there. Funny thing about that. He was kind of disgusting. E, who is Boy George? Boy George. And for all those who may think that Kenny Rogers is not a rocker, I beg to differ, because Kenny Rogers may be known today as a country artist, but he started off singing rock and roll with Kenny Rogers and the was it the 5th edition or something like that. But he definitely was a rocker at one point before he went to country. All right, it cuts like a knife, but it feels so right. Yeah, baby. Which of these rockers allegedly stabbed and killed their girlfriend in 1978? That was B, as in boy, Sid Vicious. Sid Vicious stabbed and killed Nancy Spungen, allegedly. He was never found guilty of it. His version of it was that it was a drug deal that went wrong, and a drug dealer did it. So that was his defense to it. But he was out on bond at the time that he actually overdosed and died. How old are you, Interpews? My 39-year-old who knows who Boy George is. Interpews is just joking, Fran. Interpews knows who that is. And yeah, it cuts like a knife, but it feels so right. That is from Bryan Adams. But it fit with the song. It fit with the question. No way. Kenny Rogers is a rocker. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Reichart, look him up on YouTube. Kenny Rogers, and I think it was the fifth edition. But before he joined the fifth edition, he was a solo artist, and he I don't know if he put out, I think, one album by himself before he joined the fifth edition, but he sang, rock and roll songs, and he played the guitar. But and then he joined the fifth edition, and I think he was just a lead singer. He may have played acoustic every once in a while, but I don't remember him, being like a necessarily the guitar or lead guitar, but he did. Okay, go moving on to question 6. I don't have any of his albums, otherwise I'd put one on. It was a trick question, kind of, I guess you could say. Question 6: Are you so lonesome tonight? Did you drive here drunk and alone? Well, keep your clothes on, unlike this country star did, who crashed his car, stripped naked, and fell asleep in the street. What? Let me read that again. Are you lonesome tonight? Did you drive here drunk and alone? Well, keep your clothes on, unlike this country star did, who crashed their car, stripped naked, and fell asleep in the street. Wow. Who is this? Was it A, Merle Haggard, B, Conway Twitty, C, Randy Travis, or D, Clint Black? Which one of them is the one who actually crashed their car, stripped naked, and fell asleep in the street? Good evening, S. Singleton. Welcome to Music Crime Trivia. Donna Cat, good evening as well. Welcome. Hope I didn't miss anybody else. I know this one. LOL. There's a whole lot of bad naked in here. And there's a couple. There's a couple questions. Yeah, people lose their ambitions underneath the influence of alcohol. I mean, there's been a lot of children born in this world, and you could, you go to bed with an A and you wake up with a D. That's how my buddy used to call it. Never drink and go home with someone you've never met. Or one night stand might sound like it's fun, but you don't want to wake up, and down the road and find out that now you have a little one. Kenny Rogers still has me in shock. Past the munchies. Clinton Black naked. I bet that's not bad. Very sad to see a child with fetal alcohol syndrome. Yeah. I don't know if I've personally met one, but I'm sure I have, because me and my wife used to volunteer with an organization called the ARC, ARC, and we used to help out a lot of adults who needed to transition, but don't know. May have. College did this, except he stayed inside his car. Thank God. You would know. Inner P says Clinton Black is dreamy. Are you lonesome tonight? Did you drive here drunk and alone? Well, keep your clothes on, unlike this country star did, who crashed their car, stripped naked, and fell asleep in the street. Ladies and gentlemen, the answer to question 6 is C as in cat, Randy Travis. Randy Travis did this. And the all the things that he did. First off, he got a DUI in the parking lot of a church. The cop walked up, and even when the cop knocked on his window, he cracked open another beer anyways. But on this night, he ran into a road construction like pylon and pile of dirt or something, crashed his car to the point where it was unable to be moved, got out of the car, stripped 100% of all his clothing off, even his socks, and then laid down in the middle of the street and fell asleep. When the police showed up, they thought that he was hurt in the accident, which he wasn't. He just was drunk off his ass, and he stripped naked and laid down in the street because the black top was cool. So he did that. He's had a lot of run-ins like that over the years, during his career. His mug picture, it looks wild. Yeah. He's had a couple of them with wild hair and all messed up. Yeah. Holy Mother of God, right? That is true. Question 7. Which country western legend was arrested for breaking into an open restaurant that had the owner in it and his 2 sons and 3 customers? Which country western legend was arrested for breaking into an open restaurant that had the owner, his 2 sons, and 3 customers in it? Was it A, Merle Haggard, B, Johnny Paycheck, C, Rodney Atkins, or D, Hank Williams Jr.? Juicy Jules, good evening. Every time I think of Randy Travis, I always think of that song, Forever and Ever, Amen. I always think of that song every time I think of if someone mentions his name. It's the first thing that comes to mind. Have fun, guys. I'm going in and out now. Good night, Fran. Thank you for joining us, and you have a great week. Sal says B, Johnny Paycheck. Hey, this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Randy makes me think of digging up bones. Really? How is this a crime? Starfire? He broke into a restaurant that was open. So by that you can defer that he probably didn't walk in through the front door, which would have been unlocked because it had the owner, his 2 sons, and 3 customers in it. That means however he got into the restaurant, he did it illegally through probably a door that wasn't unlocked. Therefore, it's a crime. Paycheck's family lived down the street from your parents? Oh, that's cool. I watched the documentary on Johnny Paycheck. It was probably about 4 or 5 months ago. I watched it. Very interesting life, and one hell of a crazy man. He has done some things that even after his friends and everybody told him not to do it, he did it anyways. And a large majority of it is under the influence, but he did it anyways. When I hear Willie Nelson's name, you're always on my mind. Comes to mind always. Yeah. There's just songs like that you always associate with artists. Starfire. If he's hungry, it's okay. He went through the outdoor. Susie Nelson's lousy singer. I've never heard Susie Nelson sing. Me too, Will. Oh, okay, which country western legend was arrested for breaking into an open restaurant that had the owner, his two sons, and three customers in it? The correct answer to question 7, ladies and gentlemen, is A, as in apple. And this is what sent him to Folsom Prison. Going back to the Johnny Cash question earlier, Merle Haggard broke into an open restaurant. He broke in and then got caught, obviously, because all those people were there. And he got arrested, convicted, and that sent him to Folsom Prison, where he then saw Johnny Cash play, the actual concert there at Folsom Prison. But he broke into an open restaurant. Now, depending upon which story or version you read online, he either broke in through the back door thinking that the restaurant had closed hours before, or he broke in through a vent above a bathroom window, those windows that tilt open and out, for ventilation. But he broke in through one of those. It was either the window or it was a door. There's very different accounts to which way he broke into it. But regardless, he did walk around to the front to see if the place was empty, because the owner, his two sons, and the customers were still there. But kind of like, think about it this way: fate was on his side, because he got arrested. He went to prison. He got to listen to Johnny Cash. He put his life in order for a lot of years, and then kind of went back to the outlaw that he became, the outlaw of country music, and did his own thing, and lived a pretty normal life after that, I guess, for a country western star. I don't understand this question. Inner peace. All right, we'll see if I can explain it. Which country legend was arrested for breaking into an open restaurant that had the owner, his two sons in it, and three customers? He broke into a restaurant, not by going into the front door, not going through an indoor or an outdoor, for the restaurant. He broke through the establishment through another means that wasn't locked or available to be entered through. So. All right, question 8. Hello, darling. Nice to see you. It's been a long time. You're just as lovely as you used to be. Never accused of any serious crimes, however, he was sued twice for copyright infringement. Who is this? Is it A, Gene Autry, B, Garth Brooks, C, Conway Twitty, or D, Keith Whitley? Backdoor man. Hello, darling. Nice to see you. It's been a long time. You're just as lovely as you used to be. Never accused of any serious crimes. However, he was sued twice for copyright infringement. Who is this? He was hungry, just like you were hungry, Inner Peas. That's Conway's song, so this is another trick question, I bet. Jules going with C. Inner Peas. It's Gene Simmons. I bet it's Gene Simmons. Oh. The Munchies made him do it. The famous have different set of rules. Well, hell, has anybody been following the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard saga? Talk about a different set of rules. Ooh. To what? Yeah, it's been a wild ride in that one. Hello, darling. It's nice to see you. It's been a long time. You're just as lovely as you used to be. Never accused of any serious crimes, however, he was sued twice for copyright infringement, and that is the crime, stealing somebody else's material. He was sued twice for copyright infringement. Who is this? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, to question 8, and no, it was not a trick question. It was Conway Twitty. He was sued twice, once by his record label and once by a up-and-coming artist who said that Conway Twitty had borrowed the words to one of his songs and that he said that he recorded it first, and in the end, Conway Twitty settled both of the copyright infringement claims out of court. So there is, he without admitting any actual guilt on either one of them, he settled them out of court. I'm Team Johnny in the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case. I watched a couple of the videos, on YouTube today. Wow. I'm going to have to go with Team Johnny at this point myself, but I don't have all the information needed to make a complete decision on that. But definitely sounds like that she's out there. But then again, so is Johnny. It's kind of funny though. It's like, how destructive was that relationship, and they still thought that there was somehow it was going to work. I don't know, but I guess people live that way. Question 9: if tomorrow never comes, will you live with regrets from yesterday? In 1918, this man of the cloth and an early blues legend shot and killed a man over a woman. Who is this artist? Was it A, Blind Willie Horton, B, Lightning Hopkins, C, Lead Belly, or D, Mud Trap Jim? Aunt B, good evening and welcome to Music Crime Trivia. I hope you had a wonderful week. If tomorrow never comes, will you live with the regrets of yesterday? In 1918, this man of the cloth and early blues legend shot and killed a man over a woman. Who is this artist? Hi. Hello back, Aunt B. God, guesses all over the board, except for I haven't seen a D yet. I'm sure somebody probably think, or guessed the D. Trust me on this one. I did not know the answer to this one until I actually, I looked at it earlier tonight, and I was really surprised. I'll give you a little bit of the backstory on this afterwards, after I give you the answer. Father Guido Sarducci. I missed Father Guido Sarducci from Saturday Night Live. That is something that you could not have anymore. In this politically correct world, we could never have another, Father Guido Sarducci. Oh. He's awesome. doing. He actually went from Saturday Night Live and carried that thing on. I think he started the character before he went on Saturday Night Live, and then continued on with it after he left Saturday Night Live. Because I remember, what was it? Stand up. It was the Phantom Comedy Show, Comedy Room in New York City, and it was hosted that night by Rodney Dangerfield, and it had Jerry Seinfeld, a really young Seinfeld, and Guido Sarducci was on the set, and I think there was another comedian as well. You could probably find the YouTube video for it. Just search for Rodney Dangerfield nightclub Phantom New York. Roseanne, a Dan. Drunk or not, Will was right to wrench you. I wasn't drunk when I gave her the wrench. I look forward to Inner Peace being here. I look forward to you all being here every week. Then it was Midnight Special with Jack. Midnight Special. It was then Midnight Special with Wolfman Jack. Wolfman Jack, man, there's somebody I haven't heard in a long time. Wolfman Jack. If tomorrow never comes, will you live with regrets from yesterday? In 1918, this man of the cloth and an early blues legend shot and killed a man over a woman. Who is this artist? The correct answer to question 9, ladies and gentlemen, is Leadbelly. And Leadbelly was actually found guilty, and the man he shot was an actual family member. He shot and killed a family member over a woman. And I think he was sentenced to like 25 years or 35 years or something like that. But while in prison as an inmate, he wrote a song for the governor of the state, and she pardoned him after he served 7 years or 8 years, almost 8 years, I think it was. But he got out after 8 years of a sentence for actually committing the murder. Now, man of the cloth, he was an ordained minister of like in Mississippi, but I'm going to probably mess it up, but I want to call it a Pentecostal church, but he was a minister there when he was younger, or an associate minister. So he was an ordained minister before he did all this. And I know, thou shalt not, kill, but he still did it anyways. And just like Jerry Falwell, and all the others out there who, took an oath, and they, committed crimes themselves later on. These questions are even more difficult than Jeopardy questions. Oh, I'm sorry, Reichart. Well, it's time for that time of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the rules to the prize question. I do believe tonight's question is worth, I think, $80. $80 or an $80 Amazon gift card. And of course, I read through the rules. You can use Google, Bing, whatever, phone a friend, yell out the window and ask someone at, at a gas station attendant, anybody, ask your significant other, anybody in the room, whatever. It's not cheating any way you can. But these are the rules. You have to be a U.S. resident. That's the only requirement, basically. That, and you have to get the question correct. You have 5 minutes from the time that I start reading the question. So here is tonight's question. Who is referred to as the first real zombie cannibal? Now, obviously, this has to do with music. So, not just any zombie cannibal, but in the music industry. Correct answer must be the first and last name. I missed the 1970s. 80, big buckaroos. Can I buy a vowel? Yes, you can, interpees. Who is referred to as the first real zombie cannibal? You have 5 minutes. Good evening, Tina. Welcome to Music Crime Trivia, the Donner Party. George Romero, a true classic in the horror genre. George Romero, Lori Vallow. Got a minute and a half left. Gene Simmons, Henry Downing, Bartlett Cummings. Remember, we're all the questions are about the music industry, so the question has to be around music related. If you just Google zombie cannibal, you'll come up with a whole bunch of different people, but they're not related to the music industry. Smoke them if you got them. We got 40 seconds left. Did Jeffrey Dahmer sin? I hope not. and if he did, I hope there's no recordings of it. I lived next to Jeffrey Dahmer when I was a little kid in Milwaukee. He lived just down the street from us. I don't have any memory of him, if I ever saw him in the neighborhood or anything like that. I mean, I was just a little kid. I was probably 6, 7. Who is Jeffrey Dahmer? Well, did you go over for dinner? No. I do have no memory. I have no memory of Jeffrey Dahmer or anybody else. Never saw the man. At least not to this day. My mother, my family, nobody remembers him. But it's just odd that we lived in such close proximity. That's it. That's the only tie to Jeffrey Dahmer I have. I'm sticking with George Fisher, Robert Cummings. All right, time is up. The correct answer tonight for the question, if I can get my stupid cursor to go over the other screen, there it is. The correct answer is Anton Singleton, aka Big Lurch. In 2002, he killed Tanisha Yessi, or however you pronounce that. She had her chest cut open and her face had bite marks on it. Big Lurch wasn't only a murderer, he was a cannibal. After authorities arrested him, a medical examiner revealed he had ingested human flesh. He had enough PCP on board to kill 2 fully grown men. Yes, Big Lurch. Anton Singleton is his real name, but his stage name was Big Lurch. So the pot keeps on going. And for references, why is he considered the first zombie cannibal? Because his friends all used to call him, his nickname was the Zombie when he would do PCP. He was just completely out of it and had enough strength to go forever, and nothing stopped him. They used to joke that you could run him over with a car and he'd just keep on going like a zombie. But then he did this, and the very first news article that came out called him the Zombie Cannibal. The very first news article after he was arrested. So, dude was a wacko. Yes. Gross. Dang. Yes. All the above. All right. Question 11. Johnny Craig, solo artist and lead singer for the band he formed, Slaves of Omarosa, needed a leg up in 2011. What scam did he pull on eBay buyers and Craigslist? A, he sold signed items he didn't own. B, he sold items he didn't own. C, he sold items he already sold again. Or D, he sold items he stole. Johnny Craig. Drugs kill and eat other humans. Rock card's going with D. He sold items he stole. Johnny Craig, solo artist and lead singer of the band he formed, Slaves of Omarosa, need a leg up in 2011. What scam did he pull on eBay buyers and Craigslist? Is this where Craigslist came from? No, the Craigslist is actually named after the guy who came up with it. I think his name is Dave Craig or something like that, or something like that. He sold Jenny Craig. But Craigslist is basically, hasn't changed all that much from where it was originally. It started off as a bulletin board where you could post things for sale. That's how Craigslist started. It's pretty much stayed pretty much the same it is today, except for there's a lot more things on there. You can find, missing connections to, buy things, sell things, give things away. There's all kinds of things on there now. Now a billion people do that daily. Non-existent MacBooks. Angie's List. Angie's List. I'll tell you a quick little short story about Angie's List, Reichart. The one and only time me and my wife used Angie's List to get someone to come in and fix the it's called an ice dam. It's like a little piece of metal that goes along the roof of your house or your garage or whatever. And we needed somebody to come fix it because I couldn't get up there. I mean, it's a second story, and it was unsafe for me to get up that high, anyways. But we hired this guy. We called, and and they referred this guy out to us. He came out and he looked at us and he goes, "I don't have a ladder to get that high." And we're like, "Okay." And he just got in his truck and then drove off. He never, and we called him back. Went back through the process again to get somebody else sent out, and they couldn't find anybody else that would come up there because they said it was too high for safety. I'm like, somebody put the damn roof on the house. Why can't you send a roofer? That was the one and only time we ever used it. That zombie guy makes Sid Vicious look like a musketeer. My mama has a Fitbit that she can't use, brand new in a package. If anyone's interested, seriously, serious. I've never used a Fitbit. Everything that a Fitbit does, I can do on my phone. And who doesn't go everywhere with their phone anyways nowadays? I have one of those golf watches as well for when I'm on the golf course. It tells me the distance between the holes, for where I am. Fire department has a ladder that would reach. Oh yeah, oh definitely Stardust. Or if any roofer, I mean, they sent the guy out who was just a general contractor basically, and he's like, I don't have a ladder that high. I was like, that's pretty much the reason why I wouldn't fix it. I used to use Craigslist to buy used cars before. That's cool. We bought a Peugeot wagon. It was like a I want to say 86 Peugeot wagon. Only reason why we bought it was because we bought this house that had one of those above ground like oil tanks, like home heating oil, which is the same as diesel fuel. The only difference is they put a different colored dye in it. So I bought that car just to use up it was like 100-gallon tank, huge tank, massive tank. I don't know why anybody would need a damn tank that big, but they did. But the house had been converted over to electrical heat. So, and I didn't feel like paying some company to come pump the damn thing out and then move the tank away. I was like, I can get use out of the stuff that's in it. I'll use that. All right. Question 11. Johnny Craig, solo artist and lead singer of the band he formed, Slaves of Emerosa, needed a leg up in 2011. What scam did he pull on eBay buyers and Craigslist? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is B as in boy. He sold items he didn't own. I think it was Aunt B who gave the actual correct answer, or part of it. It started off as selling non-existent MacBooks. He started off selling MacBooks and he moved on from there. He didn't have the money. Well, he collected the money for these items to be shipped to people, or sent to people, and he didn't have the items at all. The items didn't exist. But he needed the money for, yes, he needed it for something. He needed it for drugs. We used pedometers at work back in the day. I often walked 10 to 14 miles in a 10-hour shift. Wow. That's a lot. No scam. She's an elderly and does not have a smartphone or anything, so she can't use it. Well, if you guys, if you want help, working the deal out or whatever, I have no problem with you guys doing it here. If you guys can figure out a way to contact each other. They thought they were buying food for a diet plan. Oh, all right. Question 12. Which former best friend and band member of Eric Clapton killed his mother in a fit of rage with a hammer and a knife? Whoa. Which former best friend and band member of Eric Clapton's killed his mother in a fit of rage with a hammer and a knife? Was it A, Jim Gordon, B, Tessie Niles, C, George Harrison, or D, Doyle Bramhall? Excuse me. Well, and I just noticed that I'm not in the window anymore. Why didn't somebody say something? I'm not my little window. My little window. Wait. My little window. Brutal. Yes. Definitely brutal. Brutal way to commit any type of murder. D. Willie is back. Huh? Fun live. I've only caught you a handful of times. Well, I'm glad you could be here, Aunt B. Inner Peace is going with E. Barry Morphew. I don't think Barry would have the gall to do something like that to Suzanne. I think he shot her with a tranquilizer dart and then did something else to her and buried her far, far away. I don't think he's smart enough to bury her anywhere nearby or dumb enough to do it. Left-handed RN going with D. Sketty Nona is going with D. Ed Kemper was brutal too. Yes, he was. I've always wondered if is Ed Kemper just absolutely brilliant and insane at the same time, or is he insane because he is absolutely brilliant? Because no way, there's no arguing the fact that he's a brilliant man. It's very, smart. He fooled a lot of people over the years that, if his, insanity or not. You haven't been since the zombie question. Norman Bates. Yes, mother. Right away, mother. Good old Norman Bates, the Bates Motel. It was Scary Barry. Scary Barry. They'll get Barry in the end. Barry will pay. If he doesn't pay in this lifetime, there's a special place in hell where he's going where they don't have any ice water. Think abuse made him snap. Bear. Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven? I cry every time I hear that song. That's a sad song, Aunt B. And he write that song about losing his son? I believe he did. His son who fell out the window, and that's a tragic. That had that. I don't know how I would react if I lost one of my children. Our car was stolen 2 weeks ago, right off our driveway. My daughter is so torn up. They don't really look for stolen vehicles here. So have some good theft coverage. We did not. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Sal. All right. Which former best friend and band member of Eric Clapton's killed his mother in a fit of rage with a hammer and a knife? Ladies and gentlemen, the answer is A as in apple. Jim Gordon. Before Eric Clapton went solo, he was in a band called Derek and the Dominoes. And Jim Gordon was a band member of his in Derek and the Dominoes. They only released one album, but the song Layla was on there. But Eric Clapton's friend, Jim Gordon, and they knew each other for, I think it was 13 years at that point, that he killed his mother in a fit of rage. Robert Plant lost his young son too. Barry yelled at reporters that the murderer was still out on the loose as he was walking out of the courthouse. All right, question 13. Step into the batter's box. What out of step into the batter's box? What out of the off-speed pitch inside? Watch out. It should be watch out for the off-speed pitch inside. If you come, stand back up and dust yourself off and swing away. Who attacked award-winning movie director Alan Hughes with a baseball bat in 1994? Step into the batter's box. Watch out for the off-speed pitch inside. If it comes, stand back up and dust yourself off and swing away. Who attacked award-winning movie director Alan Hughes with a baseball bat in 1994? Was it A, Alan Parsons, B, Biggie Small, C, Tupac Shakur, or D, Midland? I have a son in heaven, fatal car accident, December 2019. I'm sorry, Aunt B. I cannot imagine the pain that must have caused you. And for everybody out there who's ever lost a child, my heart goes out to you all. Who attacked movie director Alan Hughes with a baseball bat in 1994? Left-hand RN is going with C. Right card A, Alan Parsons. Alan Parsons. Hey, that's horrible. Who attacked movie director Alan Hughes? 1994 with a baseball bat. That must have been painful if you hit him. I used to keep a Louisville Slugger by the coat rack next to our front door. It disappeared one day, and I still don't know where it went. It's probably been moved somewhere in the house. Well, we got C, Scotty Nona, B, C, Carol Miller, C. He's only serving 15 days. He only served 15 days. That's Scotty Nona. Attacked movie director, award-winning movie director Alan Hughes with a baseball bat. Really makes you wonder. He must have done something to set him off. Jennifer Hill, B? Question. Was it Biggie Small? Who attacked award-winning director Alan Hughes? All right. The answer to question 13 is C as in cat. Tupac Shakur attacked award-winning director Alan Hughes with a baseball bat in 1994. And no words to describe it. Alex Cox. Oh, inner peas. Alex, we all know, Alex Cox used a gun. He wouldn't attack anybody with a baseball bat. It was a gun. Even the dry run where he tried to kill Tammy, to see how close they could get to her. Yeah, that was a paintball gun. Still a gun. Tupac was huge news. Yeah. All right. Question 14. Just think, Guns N' Roses was once so famous that they could get away with murder. Okay, maybe not murder, but they got away with a lot. What crime were they all charged with in 1991? And I mean, every single member of the band was. Was it A, assault, B, DUIs, C, drug possession, or D, inciting a riot? Guns N' Roses was so famous once that they could get away with murder. Okay, maybe not murder, but they got away with a lot. What crime were they all charged with in 1991? Could have been Pete Rose for all I know. Pete Rose has been given a raw deal by baseball. What was his name? Was it Roselle, who was the commissioner for 1 year? 1 freaking year, banned him for a lifetime. And he's never been able to get back, into baseball. Lifetime ban. What did Guns N' Roses, every single member of the band, get charged with in 1991? D, B, D. I almost spit my water out. Inner peace. Cannibalism. Jennifer is going with C. A Texas city and 2 rappers wouldn't attack anyone with a baseball bat. Rappers attack with shotguns. A. Are you on the right question, Rykart? I don't know if you are. We're on question number 14 right now. Stardust is going with C, drug possession. Just think, Guns N' Roses was so famous that they could get away with murder. Okay, maybe not murder, but they got away with a lot. What crime were they all charged with in 1991? Anyone in here an Aaron Lewis fan? Of course I am. I love Aaron Lewis's music. You're going to go see him Wednesday night. I'm so jealous. Aunt B. Man, Aaron Lewis, man, love his music. Love it. But anyways, what did Guns N' Roses all get charged with in 1991? The correct answer is D, as in dog, inciting a riot. Every member of the band was cited and arrested um, for causing a riot at the Riverport Amphitheater in St. Louis. They just decided after somebody, it started off as somebody taking a photograph or something, and Axl Rose got pissed off and stormed off the stage, and then the rest of the band left, and they didn't even do the concert, which everybody started rioting, and they destroyed the hell out of the place. But they got arrested and charged with inciting a riot. All right. I knew it was D, but kept C saying, pick me, pick me. I wouldn't have put it too far past the band to be, for drug possession or DUI. Betty Blue. Good evening, Betty Blue. Sweet child of mine. I got one right. Question 15. I know it would be super cool to hang out with a famous rocker. However, um, if ever invited, think twice before hanging out with Rick James and High Jazzy. What did they do in 1992 that wasn't so much fun for their fan? Was it A, burned with an iron, B, tortured and held prisoner, C, pimped out to people on the street, or D, dropped off in the middle of nowhere? I know it'd be super cool to hang out with a famous rocker. However, if you ever invited, think twice before hanging out with Rick James and High Jazzy. What did they do in 1992 that wasn't so much fun for their fans? Wasn't so much fun for their fans. 1992. Well, Aunt B, I hope you enjoy his show. I don't know if he's going to do it, if he's going to sing It's Been a While, but I hope he does. Love that song. Left too long in a hot tub. Refused to pass the bong. C, I get D, F, D, maybe. Oops, that was James Brown. Be right back. Okay. Stardust will be right back. This is maybe he'll sing this one while something to remind you. This is live, but that's what's Stained. It's a great song as well. The acoustic version of It's Been a While. Rebel headquarters. That's where Morgan Wallen recorded his last album. Was at the headquarters, Rebel headquarters. Morgan kind of got on the bad side of a lot of people. Unfortunately, people are just dumb. B has no idea on this one. Stardust is back, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I know it'd be super cool to hang out with a famous rocker. However, if ever invited, think twice before taking an invite to hang out with Rick James and High Jazzy. What did the two of them do in 1992 that wasn't so much fun for their fan? The correct answer is B, as in boy. Tortured and held prisoner. They refused to let her go. They burned her with a crack pipe a lot of times, and then held her against her will for an even longer extended period of time after that. They tried to get her they forced her to smoke crack with them, and eventually she gave in and smoked crack with them against her will. But that was in 1992. I do not believe Rick James is alive. I think he's dead, so you don't have to worry about hanging out with him. I was pregnant with your son in 1992. Oh my, that's not nice. Oh no, it's not. Oh no, not at all. I'm on the wrong page. There we go. Question number 16. Crazy as a rock star is actually a common saying. Well, it used to be. It didn't come from the 1960s or the 1980s. The phrase actually was first printed after this star attacked 3 people in an audience during a show. The first time. Oh, it wasn't the last time he did it either. Who is it? Is it A, Sebastian Bach, B, Axl Rose, C, Philip Amsel, D, Phil Rudd? Who did they coin the phrase crazy as a rock star after? After he attacked fans in the stands. His lyrics totally touch me. He has a great voice. I'll give you that. Music writing is on par too. I hope so too. That song that gets me is "I Lost It All." Seriously, be a hot mess. Love all his music. That's terrifying. E, Mike Tyson. Don't look around often. That's terrifying. E, Mike Tyson. Yeah, if you're ever on a flight with Mike Tyson, I highly suggest not being a drunken a-hole to the man. And whatever you do, do not throw a bottle of water at him either. It may set him off. And somebody told me, I can't remember who, but Mike Tyson, he can hit people, and he can hit them really hard. Why would you? It's like walking up to a bear and poking it in the nose with a stick. It's like that bear's just like one swipe is going to take your damn head off. Why would you mess with Mike Tyson like that? Bill Rudd hired a hitman. Hot mess, meth. I like both my ears. that was Holyfield, wasn't it? That he bit the ear off of? Well, he didn't have the whole ear. He bit a big old chunk of it off, though. Maybe B. B. Inner peace. Yes. Holyfield. Never heard of the last two. Phil Anslo, however you, I can't pronounce anything tonight, but he was the lead singer of Pantera. Um, Phil Rudd he's done some solo work and he did other music with bands. They're both, you know, I'd say Philip Anslo is more famous, from Pantera. Trivia question: I wasn't at a crazy concert in January 1982 that involved a bat. Anyone know whose concert it was? People were also throwing dead fish around in the crowd. All right. Trivia question: I was at a crazy concert in January of 1982 that involved a bat. That would be well, I mean, with a bat, the first thing that comes to mind is Ozzy Osbourne. But why would people be throwing around fish at the concert? As long as it's not fish as in the artist. Phil Rudd is an ACDC. He was an ACDC, wasn't he? I thought he left the band. Ozzy. But what's the story with the fish? I don't get the fish. Question 16. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is A as in apple. Sebastian Bach. He did this not once, not twice, but 3 separate times. He attacked someone in the audience at a concert. He did it in 1986, 1989, and 1992 by his own admission in a Loudwire interview. So if you don't not familiar with Loudwire, you can look them up on YouTube. Aren't dead fish a sign of death to someone? The name Phil Rudd makes me think of Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd is funny. He's a good actor. I don't know how funny he is. Paul Rudd is dreamy. But Sebastian Bach did it in 1986, 1989, and 1992. All right, question 17. Oops, I did it again. Question 17. Is it getting hot in here? Maybe it's just me. Never go to a White Snake reunion show. If they come near you, well, unless it's outdoors and is held near or on top of a lake. Why? A, they force in heat. B, they love to turn the heat up in clubs. Or D, they fed audiences date rape drugs. Or D, they killed 100 fans in a fire. Is it getting hot in here, or maybe it's just me? Never go to a White Snake reunion show. If they come near you, well, unless it's outdoors and it's held near or on top of a lake. Why? It was Ozzy in Des Moines, Iowa. I don't know why the fish were there. You don't know. You got us with the fish there, Aunt B. I was like, why would you throw fish around at a concert? The bat one, that's kind of an easy clue to Ozzy. They were loose a pack of mountain lions. They let loose a pack of mountain lions. Hey, I'm in DSM. Well, I don't know what DSM is. I don't know what that is, Sketty Nona. Hey, I'm in DSM. What's DSM? I don't know. Starfire's going with D. Des Moines, Iowa. I've been there several times. Been there for minor league baseball games. I think that's I want to say the River Cats or I don't know, or the Mud Hens. I can't remember which one's in Des Moines now. I'd have to look it up again. Record, I'm not going to forget what a stupid liar BM is. Accidentally 100 fans killed in an indoor concert, says Reichardt for question 17, or just out of the blue. We'll have to find out. Is it getting hot in here, or maybe it's just me? Never go to a White Snake reunion show if they come near you. Well, unless it's outdoors and is held near or on top of a lake. Why? For question 17, the answer is D as in dog. They killed 100 fans in a fire in a club. The pyrotechnic show that they let off inside the club ignited the insulation on the roof and the curtains on the sides and burned the entire club to the damn ground. And in the stampede of people trying to get out, a lot of people did not make it out, and 100 fans unfortunately perished during a White Snake show. So, hot flashes. All right. Question 18. Even Jesse's man has been charged with a crime. What did Rick Springfield, singer of Jesse's Girl, charged with? What was Rick Springfield charged with? Was it A, a DUI, B, assault and battery, C, murder, or D, robbery? Even Jesse's man has been charged with a crime. What was Rick Springfield, singer of Jesse's Girl, charged with? Oh, Des Moines? Oh, okay. Well, now I know. I didn't know what DSM was. Now I do. Thank you very much. Question 18. Not kidding. Pleasant Hill. Iowa Cubs. Is that the AAA, the Cubs affiliate that's there? Because I every year I used to travel around the United States. So I'd love to say I'm doing it this year, but I'm probably not. But every year I used to travel around the United States and I just wander from one state for the entire month of June. And I'd leave here the 1st of June and wouldn't come back until the end of June. And all I would do is just travel the United States and watch minor league baseball games. Single A, double A, short season, Cactus League, it didn't matter. Unaffiliated, farm teams, West Coast, startup leagues. I love watching minor league baseball because those kids get out there and they bust their asses every single day, in hopes that someday that they can chase their dream and make it to the major leagues. My sister saw him in concert. He was drunk. Oh. Question 18. Lieutenant RN's going with A. Carol A. I have had a mad crush on Rick Springfield since I was a young girl, and still do now. There you go, Jennifer. Don't give up on the dream. I've enjoyed several Cubs games in Des Moines, Iowa. I don't follow when I travel around. I don't go to just like Astros affiliates or Colorado Rockies or the Cubs or the Brewers. I start here, I leave from here and I go to Boise, Idaho, and I watch usually one of the first games I'll catch is in Boise, and then I just let everything go. If they're playing the other team and I like the other team, then I'll follow that team to wherever they're going next. If they're going home, or the next road trip, maybe have another stop, another team they're going to play. Maybe they're playing in Montana. Then I'll drive to Montana. And I have no destination, no time schedule for the entire month. I did it for almost 7 years. I did it every single June. Kind of hard now because my wife starts her new job on Monday. Diablos and the Shreveport Captains minor league teams are awesome. I totally agree, Reichart. Totally agree. All right. Even Jesse's man was charged with a crime. What was Rick Springfield, singer of Jesse's Girl, charged with? The correct answer is B, as in boy, assault and battery on his girlfriend, unfortunately. Sorry, but yes, he assaulted his girlfriend. He, according to the article I read online, he grabbed her by the hair and refused to allow her to leave the house that they were sharing at the time. So he was arrested for domestic violence. Assault and battery is what he was charged with. We should never meet for ice cream in Monroe. We should meet for ice cream in Monroe. My husband bought me a pecan ice cream today. Just finished some. Jersey Freeze. Ooh, it sounds good. Pecan ice cream. So happy for Crystal. So am I, Inner Peace. It's been a rough 14 months. Very rough. All right, question 19. What age was Priscilla when she started dating Elvis? A crime then and a crime now. He was 24 at the time. Was she A, 12, B, 16, C, 14, or D, 10? What age was Priscilla when she started dating Elvis? I want some ice cream. Yeah. Iowa Cubs at Principal Park near the river, former C. Taylor Stadium. Stardust is going with C. Pecan ice cream, that does sound good. It does. It sounds real good. Chester Elvis. Lieutenant RN going with C as well. This is a very well-known fact about him. And about the date, how old she was when they started dating. Yeah. Wish I could share such a nice group here. Oh, thank you, Scotty Nona. I wonder what kind of ice cream I have in the freezer out here. I have ice cream about 6 feet away from me right now. I just don't know what kind's in there. I just have to go past the camera about another 4 feet, and I got a freezer right there. I put pecan ice cream on pancakes. Ooh, that sounds good too. Ooh, you get that soft squishiness, and the ice cream melts into the pancake. There you go. She was more mature than him. Oh, inner peace. Wow. There's some hotcakes for you. What age was Priscilla when she started dating Elvis? A crime then, a crime now. He was 24 at the time. Love Jersey Freeze. We could be Facebook friends. How do we contact each other? Maybe we could email 401 now with our names. Yeah, my email address is 411 now, all together. And then the word business, no space in there, but business. 411 now, business at gmail.com. You email me, I'll pass your email address along if the other person contacts me. Are you on Instagram? I don't do Facebook. I'm on Instagram, but I don't use it. And I wouldn't use Facebook either if it wasn't for my golf league. Oh, that's the happiest, 2.5 months that I've ever had. Not being on Facebook, not having to listen and or read the most hateful messages about the politics in America. All right, what age was Priscilla when she started dating Elvis? Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is C as in cat. She was 14 years old when Elvis was 24. It is a widely known fact that if you wanted to be an Elvis girl, and he kept a lot of them around, and they would travel. He paid for their travel expenses to go from show to show to be backstage when he got done, and his manager would actually handpick girls from the show to fill in if other girls couldn't make it to the next show, and they had to be 14 years old. He liked that age, and even by Priscilla's own depth, her what she had to say later on is that the two of them, and all the girls, they love to wrestle and tickle and play, but there was never any, kind of like hanky panky that took place, as far as she knew, with any of the girls. He just liked to have them around. And he wanted them to be 14 years old. Now, you can draw your own conclusions to that, but he started dating her at 14, and later on in her accounting of it, she did say after she got pregnant that Elvis definitely lost the attraction to her. So, perv. All right, question 20. Old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra, had a giant angry side to him. His violent outburst happened a lot. What took two heads of state to get him out of jail in Japan after he did this? What did he do? Was it A, he broke a Ming vase on purpose? B, destroyed a priceless historical painting? C, he burned down a historical home in anger? Or D, slapped a geisha in anger in front of the head of state? What did good old Blue Eyes Frank Sinatra do in anger in Japan? What did Frank Sinatra do? Has the volume been off for a while? Can y'all hear me now? Or did that just now flip off for some reason? I have another program running in the background for the editing, and it just got done. And I watched it. It turned the I'm not sure if it turned the volume off then, or if it's been off for a while. Frank was slap happy. Must be D if it took two important officials to get him out. You could always hear me? Okay, left and right. I just wasn't sure. I just saw it turn the little bar graph went boop as soon as the program got finished doing, and I'm like, oh crap. Has it been off this entire time? Now I have to check my video that I was editing in the background to see if the volume was even on for it. I've heard that geishas in Japan are like nuns to Catholics. Here you find the whole time. Hi, Will. Hi, Gene. I hope you had a great weekend. Thank you for being here with us. Old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra. What did Frank do? I've read that one. Starfire's going with B. Carol going with D. Old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra. One of my dad's favorite artists. He used to come home from work, and he'd walk in, and he'd take off his work shoes and his jacket, and he'd hang them up, and it was kind of like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood a little. He'd walk in and he'd put on his house slippers, like slip them on, and he put on like this. It wasn't the same kind of sweater like Mr. Rogers, but it had like this plaid pattern to it. And then he'd walk into the family room, and he'd sit down on the couch, and my mom would bring him a cup of coffee, and then me and my sisters would all line up by the entryway to the family room, and we just sit there, and we knew Dad got to drink his cup of coffee and probably eat a couple of these disgusting, really hot peppers out of a jar. And he would always put on something from the Rat Pack, either Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. It was always something. He'd go over and he'd take the record out and put it. None of us kids were allowed to touch the records. We weren't allowed to touch them. But he put it on, and as soon as he'd drink the coffee pretty quickly, and then he'd say, "All right, come on in." So then me and my four sisters would all run into the family room, and jump up on the couch with him. One of the fondest memories that I always have of my dad. But what did Frank Sinatra do in Japan? Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is D, as in dog. He slapped a geisha in the face because she got too close to him, and he said that she startled him. But he slapped her in the face, and it took 2 heads of state to get him out of jail. He was not formally prosecuted for the crime, but it was assault. And he did it. All right. That is all 20 questions. Now, I'm going to play a song. Please enjoy the song. I hope the volume's not too high. I'm going to try to adjust it first, so it's not like blowing your eardrums out. I hope you enjoy the music. I can't see you. I can't see anybody. I can't see the comment section either. So it's for the next 3 minutes, almost 4 minutes. Thank you, Skynona. Can you hear me? Am I still here? V and P's, you're back. Hey, it worked. I had to turn the entire camera off and reboot the actual studio. It was there, and all of a sudden, boom, gone. Because V, the conspiracy, equals nonsense. I have no idea why that did that. The editing program got done, and it just started turning everything off, one thing after another. Technology for you there, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea why it did it. Wow. That is bizarre as heck. Oh, Lord, the mercy upon us all. Lord, have mercy on each and every one of our wretched souls. Well, at least I got to say goodbye to everybody. I'm sorry that it ended so abruptly. I hope everyone had a great night tonight. Give this a thumbs up, even with my stupid technical issue there. Hey, says Sal Singleton. Sal Singleton for the win. Everyone have a great day, rest of your day, and have a terrific week ahead. I will see you all again soon. Now, I'm officially going to end this now. So, good night, everyone.